That was my jam. That was my jam. I think I like that little song the most. Hello, hi, welcome. Welcome to stream number 2 in 2 days. Listen, I'm on a little bit of a roll, but don't get used to it. It's literally just because I have today off. I had yesterday off, and I will have tomorrow off. Although tomorrow, if things go according to plan, me and my mama will be putting an offer on a home. So that's very exciting. Speaking of putting offers on homes, this video would not be possible without the help of my channel members and patrons. I thank y'all so much. I will be editing a video with this look, talking about some things. So I will have that up for y'all. I'm hoping tomorrow before we go house hunting, because it shouldn't be a difficult edit. But seriously, thank y'all so much. You make it so that I can continue creating content, because honestly, this is the thing that I love doing most. I love creating, I love it. And y'all make it so that I can. And then be on the lookout for Labor Day weekend type stuff, because I almost wanted to watch Fast and Furious tonight, but I wasn't sure if anybody would be able to do it. So like I need to just like go with my gut instincts and do that stuff. But let me say hello to some folks. So I always have to pay my bills before I get started. I have to make sure that my patrons and channel members know how much they are appreciated. Everyone who watches, likes, subscribes, you are appreciated as well. So thank you. Hi, Tamia. Hi, Darbster. Hey, Felisa. Hey, Cara. Wait, it's Kara. I keep doing it. I'm like, I programmed myself to say it a different way. Anyways. All right. Hi, M. Hi, Megan. Hi, 93. Hi, Janet. Hi, Stinky Eggs. So listen. Don't worry. This is like what I do a lot of times is, ooh, I like being called sweet cheeks. I like that. Nobody calls me sweet cheeks except for myself and my fantasy world. But we're not going to talk about that today. Today, we are going to talk about the joys of decentering men. And I think that this is a really important conversation to have, because there are plenty of conversations about how men suck, right? We Yes, but I also really want to talk about the main point, which is, as women and non binary femmes, as we decenter men from our lives, how much more improved our lives get. Now, full disclosure, look, you can see him back there. Look at it. He heard me say men. He was like, y'all see him give mad side eye? Look at him. Anyway, that's my baby bear, Bo, and I love him so much. And he's going to be back there doing a lot of side eye throughout this entire conversation. He's heard this conversation 37 times, so that's probably part of it. But full disclosure, currently, yes, and moving forth, I am Arrow Ace. I did not know that at the time that I was like married, all of that stuff. But I do want to give a little backstory about me so that you kind of understand where I'm coming from with this conversation. So, I knew I wasn't straight, and that's fine. I was never like concerned about that. But I did end up getting married to a man. And when that inevitably fell apart because we were not right for each other, and I allowed way too many red flags to pass by, and there was a lot of emotional abuse, there was a shotgun incident, there were things, we got divorced. But like many people do when you break up, what's up, Arrow Ace gang? Yeah. But when you get divorced, what are the first things everybody does, or in a breakup of a relationship? It becomes this like race to see like who's gonna be left single last. So you're just always running and trying to make sure like you're not loser and the like you've gotta be dating and you've got to be doing all this stuff. But I had the same problems with dating after I got divorced as I did before I got divorced. I felt like dating was always weird. I didn't understand why it was a game. I truly could not baby this. You're getting a little too slobbery, hun. Bobo, too much slobber. I love you so much, but you're digging into your feet a little much. I love you. I love you. But he's gonna go back and just do it again. I'm gonna pretend like we can't hear it. But like I'm just gonna pretend like we can't hear him slobbing on his feet. I'm sorry. Like he's my baby. I'm not gonna kick him out. If that annoys you, I understand. If you hear it and you're like, that is disgusting, I can't deal. I get it. I will see you in the next one. But for me, I hated dating because I felt like it was a lot of dishonesty. I have a TikTok about this somewhere where I was talking about, obviously this should have alerted me to my neurodivergencies, but like I never understood why you couldn't just be honest about dating and why it was so weird, especially like I'm going to be speaking a lot in the binary here. So sorry, my pan by everybody. Sorry, I'm pan too, but like for this conversation, speaking in the binary. I could never understand why you couldn't just be honest. I couldn't understand why I had to pretend not to like somebody and why like men had to pretend they didn't like you as much as they did like you. I felt like that whole thing was awkward and I felt like it just only got worse when I a romantic Felisa. Um when I got older, I couldn't understand it. Like I would tell a guy, I'm never going to forget this because I've told this story before, but there's people who this is their first time running into me. So, hi, I'm Audra. I'm autistic, ADHD, Arrow Ace, visibly black. You're welcome. So, so the thing is, I went on a date, like I feel like 2 dates with this guy. On our third date, he took me to Florida. I did survive. Everyone knew where I was. My mom knew where I was. One of my dear friends knew where I was. Like everybody knew what was going on. It wasn't like I didn't take off. Obviously, I'm still here today, so I wasn't trafficked or kidnapped. Everything's good. But after the weekend in Florida, I texted him being like, "Hey, I really time. I like you a lot. If that's not how you feel, now's the time to let me know." This man goes radio silent for an entire day. And when he does deign to call me, he's drunk and like going on this whole tangent about how he's not looking to get married. I am confusion because I really feel confident. See, look at the eye roll. He's also confusion. I really feel confident that I didn't say anything about getting married. I feel like I literally just said, I like you. I enjoy spending time with you. And basically, if you don't feel that way, like let me know now. That was the conversation. The way in which he took me saying I like you as like I want to get married. First of all, I couldn't autistic brain could not handle it. It was just like, Where did you get that from?" I'm super confident. And I remember looking over these texts multiple times to be like, what the hell is this man talking about? Just like going back and forth, being like, did I say anything weird? And I'm like, no, I quite literally just said, I like you. And I just after that, I was just like, I don't want to date. And then I would stop dating for a while and then I would try again. And then I was just like, this has become so frustrating. And it's not just because men suck, it's because like I also didn't like my life being about dating for these reasons right here. 93 Runt brings up. I remember a past roommate of mine saying she needed more single friends because all her friends were in relationships and the relationship became their whole personality. Yes. And that's what I started to realize when I really started backing out of dating. I think my last relationship was maybe 3 years ago. And when I finally was like, yeah, that's enough. I just need to like enjoy my life. I need to stop centering it around romantic relationships. I need to stop doing that because one, it's not bringing me joy and happiness. It's bringing me a lot of stress. And I personally think that for me, because I know there's going to be some dusties coming and be like, ain't nobody wants you anyway. Okay, good, good. But for me, I began to realize that it was just like a waste of my time and energy to be seeking a romantic relationship. And this is before I discovered I was Arrow. I really had started figuring out that I was Ace, but like I was like, yeah, you can still have a relationship if you're Ace. But then I was like more and more where I just felt like this is a lot of energy and a lot of stress for like very low reward. You know what like I'm not getting anything good out of this. I mean, I get good stories. I have a lot of good snooze stories because that was a time. But I don't really, it's just a lot of stress. I even tried doing like a summer of dates where it was more like, I'm just going to relax and have fun and not put pressure on anything. And the cool girl situation left a whole other problem. We'll be talking about that in a different stream. I feel like this channel is going to start becoming like the let's talk about our womanhood, womanhood in movies. Let's go. But I feel like I just kept looking around being like, this is a lot of energy. This is a lot of time wasted and spent on something that is not fulfilling. And when I started turning those attentions, even at the time when I still thought maybe I still wanted to have a relationship, maybe I still, wasn't exactly ace, maybe I'm still romantic. It turns out I am like in here, right? When I see you and I say that I have a crush on you, like I don't have a crush on Keanu Reeves per se. I have a crush on who Keanu Reeves plays in my very, intense, very sexy, supernatural, uh, disassociative stories that play in my head all the time. That's who I like. If I see you and I'm looking you up and down, please understand I'm not actually interested. Do not come up to me. Don't try to hit on me. That's not what's happening. I'm putting you here where I need you to be because you may be playing a gangster or an evil fae who is going to be cured by the love of a human who has unusual powers themselves. Anyways, that aside. But like I started to realize that being in community with men wasn't even possible for the most part. Because even the men I do know that I'm friends with, I'm just like, you're kind of terrible when it comes to like, you are a good person to me. You are a good friend to me. But when it comes to relationships, you are really terrible. Like, I wish that you would never talk to me about your relationship stuff because I'm glad I don't know your girl. Because good God, it's horrific. Like, I can't. Yes, the feeling pressure because you're not dating even though you don't want to and feeling like maybe you're not attractive enough to being dated. Yeah, that was before I realized I don't give a fuck. Slay. Hell yeah. Thank you. All of that. And Caleb, you see, I love this. It seems like decentering men in the life of everyone is not really hating men, but simply common sense. Do not center your life around another person, period. And it's that. That's the thing. And the decentering of men is causing like a ruckus. They're really getting like twisted up about everything that women do that doesn't have to do with them. And you see it every time like a woman looks good, a non-binary femme. For this conversation, I'm just going to use the binary because it's easier to just have the conversation. But I see you because I am you. But it's but every time a woman puts on makeup and looks good, they're always like, "Oh, what do you put that makeup on for?" I'm like, "Me, look how good I look. I didn't know I could do this. Like, this is an eyeshadow wing. I normally don't ever do that. I almost always do a liquid wing. And today I was like, let me just do like a little pink shadow wing. I did it. And I was like, I'm killing the game. You know what I mean? I was like, look at me. It's all creativity and fun and art. I was like, oh, I did my like another like light summery look. I got on like a light little blush. The lighting isn't really giving it to you, but like I'm here. I'm like, yes, this is not for you. More than anything, it's for other women and not just like gay women, although, hey, thanks. If you think I'm pretty, I appreciate it. Thank you. But it's not for men. And women are getting really tired of men posing these weird questions where they'll be like, if all the men disappeared for a day, baby, it's 2023 and I have access to YouTube. I know how to put Freon in my own vehicle because of YouTube. I will create like playlists on YouTube to teach me how to do things that y'all, because here's the thing, you can't rely on a man to do it anyway. Like they're like, oh, who's gonna do these things? Well, when we live with y'all, you still don't do it. Like we literally live with you and you don't do the things. Like living in your house and you don't do it. The amount of married women I see mowing yards. Remember, I am a mail carrier. All right. It's high. It's very high. Okay. Out there mowing the yard is hot. And I know that they're married and that their husband lives in the house because I've seen them there on the weekends. I'm like, uh-huh. And I see his car. I'm like, oh. So like all of these things, like we're doing these things anyway. And y'all would come up with these weird fictional questions, be like, what will women do if men were gone for 24 hours? If we woke up and all the men were gone? Be like, we would be relieved. We would be relieved. And we would walk out tits out, okay? Because we'd be like, nice. No one's gonna grab me. It's gonna be a lovely time. I'm just gonna let the girlies do the thing. It's a little, especially on a day where the weather's just perfect. You can just walk out, tits out, let them get a little sun, let the nips just, all of that. I want to live that life. Exactly. Uh, yeah, your best friend is a man, and he actually asked me how to tell his girlfriend that he was living with to lose weight. Yeah, the answer is don't. That is the answer. I can't believe he asked that. How do I tell her to lose weight? I don't know. How does she tell you you're a dirtbag? And the thing is, it all stems back to like that old saying, and I'm always mess this up, but I feel like it's men marry women expecting them not to change, and women marry men expecting them to change. And both of these things are wrong, obviously. But you had that whole, oh my gosh, thank you, Just Me. I appreciate that. Like, I feel like and know that women in general have started having enough. And like, here's the thing. See, that's it, Megan. If I woke up and all the cis men were gone, we'd be fine. Actually, there'd be a lot less shit to deal with. Exactly. Like, that's the thing. The thing is, I feel like when women are decentering men, we are finding the answers to these questions and being like, but you don't do these things. Like you contribute to these problems and you don't do anything to stop them. You can say all day long that you aren't that guy, but if you're not doing anything to stop that guy, then you're still part of the problem, right? If you just see these horrible things happening and do nothing, then you're still part of the problem. The idea that you have to like know somebody and I don't want to get involved. Like, obviously, this one woman walking down the street having like three guys screaming and catcalling at her is not with them. I'm not sure why you couldn't just like walk up and be helpful. Like, I don't know. But I'm going to show you all this and see. Hold on. Here we go. Let me see if I do this right. No, I want it bigger. I liked it this way. I'm always fussing with it to see which size I want it. So here we go. I hope is it at the beginning? Here we go.
It never seems to amaze me how women try to get rid of men.
Another member of the panicked Pookie Brigade. So, dude there is upset because women are beginning to open women only clubs now where women can go dress how they want to, twerk as much as they want to, drink as much as they want to, and have a good time safely and not feel like they have to worry about what the men are planning or having their drinks drugged or anything like that. And I believe that's a brilliant idea. And he's so upset by it. You will find any way to get rid of men. Yeah, we're decentering you in every part of our lives,
We
including
are.
entertainment.
Yes.
And then at the end of the video, he says, so you're going to go to this club and pay your own way, and you're going to buy your own drinks and buy your own
Yes.
food.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, because we can do that. And then he says, if we're going to do this, we might as well be gay. Ooh, they are panicking and they are losing their minds that we have decided to decenter men. Even
Yep.
the ones who have partners and who have husbands, we're still decentering men. And they're losing their minds. But I wanted to make this video because I'm Gen X. And we used to do this all the time with the men in the club. Like
Hmm.
comedians used to make jokes about how
They
women will
did.
go in a club. We're just gonna go and just relax and have fun, and we're gonna dance in a circle, put all our coats and purses in the middle of this and just dance all night on each other. Yeah, that's literally what we did
Yeah.
from like age 12 when we first started going out to parties till we went to college, and sometimes even in college and after that. So no, this concept is not new. It's just never been one where there's no men allowed. Period. Oh man, they're losing it. The men folk are losing it. And like I said, versus becoming better people, they're just going to complain about it and not understand that they are the problem and the reason why we have to do this. Hilarious. But go back and watch the video. It's funny. So mad.
I like her a lot. Her TikTok is linked in the description box. Yeah, this decentering situation, like I remember when I was younger, like going to the bar and club, the whole dance away situation. If you're my age, if you're 43, and I don't know if the young folks are still doing it, but the dance away, you know what I'm talking about. We be all like dancing, having a good time. You look, there's a man coming to dance towards y'all, and we all just start kind of turning and dancing away from him. And the thing is, they wouldn't get it. Like, we're literally trying to have a girls' night. And it's things like this where women try to create spaces for women to be able to have an enjoyable time, and men get mad about it, right? Like, when women are like, oh, we should create a women's only gym, and their response to it, and I remember, I feel like maybe this was last year, but their response to that was like, good. Maybe we're tired of seeing y'all walk around. Y'all don't work out anyway, and then tight workout clothes, da da da. And we're like, so why are you mad? Like, y'all are writing entire dissertations about this whole thing when we're literally like, no, we just want to go to the gym and not have y'all being weird. We want to go to the gym and work out if we want to work out. It's not me. I'm not part of the we because I don't want to do that. But the we who want to work out want to go and work out and not have it get weird. The amount of TikToks that exist currently of women being harangued and harassed by some guy, hey, girl, can I get your number? Like, no. Now, I'm not saying that women don't do that to dudes either, but like, the reality is, for me, when I stopped like centering men and romantic relationships, I started to find that my platonic friendships and relationships, my familiar relationships got better, right? Because since I was no longer spending this like enormous amount of energy trying to figure out if somebody wanted to date me and what we were doing and how things were, are we together or not? Why is this a whole thing? Why can't we just be like honest and have a conversation and get an answer? Once I stopped doing all of that and started focusing in on other aspects of my life is richer, it is fuller, it is more fun. I enjoy the times with my friends so much more. I have so many more conversations with my friends. I'm getting to know my mother as like an actualized person outside of everything else because I don't have and will not have a relationship because I'm not interested in that and I'm not interested in getting married. But because like that's not my penultimate, because like society told us that, society told you your main goal in life is to get married and have kids. And now we're realizing like not only does that not have to be the goal, and here's the thing. I am a hardcore womanist. So if you want to get married, babes, that's the whole point in being a womanist. You are allowed to do that. The point is the choice, right? So if you want to choose to get married, awesome, awesome. But my thing is, I'm choosing not to do that. And I am enjoying my life more. And I think that more importantly, if you do want to get married, if you do want a romantic partnership, I think that it will be enriched and enhanced by the fact that they don't become the only person or the only thing that is important to you. Like they don't suck up all of your. There we go. Sorry. Every time the garage, I figured it out that every time the person opens their garage below me, it like I don't know why, but it messes up my internet connection. It's like, "Brrr," and I'm like, I literally sat there. But I think that it does enrich your relationships better because, like, when you have issues in your relationship, you have close personal friends that you actually care about that you can talk to about that relationship, right? You're not in that weird situation where you're in any way worried about this person. That's a whole other conversation, but you're worried about this person, getting into your partner's bed. But like, yes, so tired of people pretending like people not wanting to go the traditional route in life or wanting to take away that opportunity for others. Exactly. I think that if you want to get married, you get married. If you want to move in with your partner, you move in with your partner. And if you want to decenter men from your life so that you can find out who you are, what you like, and what you enjoy, more power to you. Because let me tell you, when I did think that I was going to continue to date, my standards are so high. So even if I did change my mind and be like, well, maybe I can date another arrow person, it would be a very strange relationship, but the two of us would just like sit and enjoy space next to each other and then be like, that was fun. Yeah, that was great. And then we go to our respective homes. But when you have that kind of space, like Emma saying, your decentering men actually gives you the space and energy to figure out what is important and meaningful to you. Exactly. You get to like find all these pieces of yourself that you didn't realize existed because a good portion of your life was spent trying to have a relationship, trying to find a guy. Like if you even go back, this is a thing that always kind of breaks my heart is like I'm always sad about the time where we stopped getting to be like kids. Like we just stopped getting to be kids. Like somewhere it was like, oh, we're gonna start dating and having boyfriends and all of that. And I was like, oh no, I still want to play dolls. I know that we're in ninth grade. I still want to play dolls. I am uninterested in this. I don't want to date. I don't want to. And then once you get locked into the centering of men, into the centering of a relationship, listen, the thing about decentering men is that there was a time, y'all, there was a time, because this is Heather bringing up older generations. There was a time when if a man looked at you and said, you are going to become an old cat lady with your standards, you're going to be alone with 15 cats. That was it. You were done. You know what I mean? That was the final boss, you know? When they threw that at you, you were like, and at the time you'd be like, I don't care. But you would immediately be like preparing yourself, like, I've got to find a boyfriend. I've got to get in a relationship. I can't be alone with cats. Now I'm like, that is the goal. That that is the goal. Like, what do you mean? You're saying that as if it's gonna hurt my feelings. If somebody says that to me now, I'm like, yeah, I could only hope. If I had to choose between dying alone with 15 cats who may or may not nibble on my corpse when I have passed, and you, sir, I'm choosing the 15 cats. 100% every time. Every single time. There's never not gonna be a time where I choose you over those cats. I will choose the cats. I will choose that. Even knowing that they might nibble my dead corpse, I will choose that. Um and I think that let's see here. I don't know if this happened to others, but many of my lady friends broke our friendship after getting married. It's heartbreaking, especially when they come back wanting to rekindle the friendship. Yes, because there is this, and you see it all the time. There's this weird idea that once a girl gets married, she can't have single friends, like go do single things, because for reasons, it, it doesn't make sense. Like, listen, if you're worried that by me going to the club with my single girlfriends, I'm going to hook up with some rando dude, I don't think that you should have married me in the first place. Number 1. I think that you shouldn't have married me if those are the things that you think about me. If you think that that's what's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like you obviously made a mistake in who you chose as a partner if that's what you think of me. You know what I mean? Like if that's what you think of your partner, you have chosen incorrectly. You need to find another partner with whomst you don't worry about that with. You should not be in a relationship with somebody with whom you are worried about them falling onto somebody else's appendage, just willy-nilly, just boop, oop, you know. That's a pretty intense fall, by the way, very acrobatic, if you will. So I think that when we decenter men, for me, I started to find all these things I enjoy, right? I got back into playing video games because I hadn't done that in a really long time. And I was like, oh my God, I love playing video games. I streamed for like 3 hours today just playing video games because I was like, yeah, started playing Fallout 76. I'm having a ball. I feel like maybe I wasn't playing Baldur's Gate when I thought I was playing Baldur's Gate because I don't recognize this game at all. But here I am, I'm playing Baldur's Gate. I'm finding out all the joys I have. I discovered YouTube, when I started decentering men in my life. I started finding that, I have these creative joys and I can actually get back to my creative roots and creating things that make me happy and bring me joy. I have a dog that I greatly enjoy and I love, and I like spending time with him, even though he licks himself and it's really loud. Even though he's really bougie, I do enjoy like giving him his little feety scrubs and all of these things. But like, oh no, Allie, I'm finished with you. Cats have more personalities than men. Ah, yeah. I am happy to provide snack for cat. I love that, Caleb. I might be a snacky snack for my adorable fur babies, and I accept that. Yeah, I feel like, yes, Megan, cat lady, single, dog mom, old maid, bitter and old, dusty. Give me all of it because I have chosen family. I'm good. And I think that's the thing is we get to start choosing who we want to spend our time with. And I think that the important thing, especially for young women, but all of us together, is knowing that by decentering men, you open up your realm of possibilities. You are able to dream big and actually go for those dreams and not, obviously not all men suck, but these days with the way that the red pill has infiltrated every aspect of life, where you see these dusty men being like, they just can't wait to get rid of us. And if a man cheats on a woman, she better persevere, she better endure. But if a woman cheats on a man, she's for the streets. What? Y'all are weird. Just want y'all to know it's weird. That's a very weird behavior to have. Like, well, if man cheats, it's biological. If woman cheats, it's emotional. Y'all made that up. I just want you to know that. Y'all made that up for your egos because that's not true. That is not true. Absolutely, positively not true. Hey, Brittany, what's up? Welcome in. Tamia? Yes. I think the problem with men is that they're centering their lives on women. They're valued only when they have women. Yes. And that's the thing. I think a lot of men didn't, and this has been happening, and this is why I always listen, my autistic super interest is media, all right? Movies, TV shows. And I can see how the world moves and works through varying forms of media, but also through watching how movies change relationships, right? So you watch relationships consistently be about men needing to learn how to embrace their feminine side, how to see women as people. This has gone on for decades. I remember What Women Want with Mel Gibson, Hitch. You had all these movies trying to consistently be like, hey, y'all should, all the varying Cyrano de Bergerac films, and like you still don't get it. Like there's something about Mary is very much like, as comedic as it is, it's also very much about a woman who's beautiful, but nobody treats her like a human being. They're all just like, she's hot. And like that's it. They don't care to get to know her or love her or whatever. They just kind of let her, like, treat her as if she is an object. And I don't think throughout this time, like, men have taken that to heart and realized the important. And there are some men who have, like, if you need a soft boy recommendation, and like, I don't mean that as like an insult, by the way, Noah Samson would never see this, but if you need a soft boy recommendation, men to watch, who are on YouTube, who don't have like these nasty misogynistic bones in their body and who are kind and warm and soft, Noah Samson is a good channel for you to watch if you're not watching it. Those men do exist, right? Obviously, the other side of the men who refuse to get better will call him soy boy and all of this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know how that's insulting because women like him and they don't like you. So it's really weird that you would have this entire conversation be like, soy boy. I'm like, that's really weird. I don't know why you would call a man that women like and like make fun of him. Cause isn't that the goal? Okay. I'm not smart. I'm sorry. I'm too dumb. But overall, they've refused to embrace and understand change and growth. You can't want a traditional relationship but have no money. And I'm not saying that as like, oh, you got to be. I'm saying if you want a traditional relationship where the woman keeps the house and all of that and raises the kids, then you have to make the money so that she doesn't have to go to work and she can do all of those things. Like these are the things, and you're not understanding that you can't have things all these ways. We're watching y'all do like just gymnastics to try to make everything fit and it doesn't, when literally you could just get better. Like you could just start seeing women as human beings. You could just start being a kinder, better person. Like, come on. Oh yeah, Jarvis Johnson. Yeah, I like Jarvis. I like Jarvis. Yeah. I think a lot of men think decentering means they just stand on the sideline, blink, and do nothing. Decentering gives men opportunities to find themselves, grow, and build friendships and communities. Exactly. That's the thing. I think that what we're seeing right now, it's not just men versus women. It's like women getting more and more empowered to enjoy being a woman and to enjoy the power that being a woman gives them to get into community with other women. We have been taught decade over decade over decade to view other women as competition. And we're finally starting to get to what I feel like is a beautiful point. Not all, because some of them women are dumb, but we're getting to a beautiful point where more and more women, a lot of them are dumb, but we're getting to a beautiful point where more and more women are gathering together and being in community with one another. We are raising each other up. We are helping each other to live the kind of lives that we want to live. Instead of saying someone's dumb for having this goal or dream, we're like, well, this is how can we help you achieve this dream? Right? When somebody says that, you're here trying to help them make it happen. I feel like women are always there to support each other and to help each other get where they want to go. Where and you can't have that when you pop in and out of female friendship. You can't have that. When you are, and I know this because I've done that, right? I have been that person who's like, oh my God, I can't be friends with girls because they're so messy. Like that kind of internalized misogyny, that's the stuff you get to examine. That's the kind of stuff you get to examine and look inside yourself and go, why did I think that? And it's like, of course, because men and boys, when I was younger, always tried to make it feel like it was a competition between me and another woman. And so, of course, I started to feel like women were my enemy. We were taught through media all the time that women should be competing with each other for men. So when we see this in movies, we see this in television, we're going to play it out in real life. I know people like to be like, it's just a movie, but let's get real. There's a lot of things that we do that we wouldn't do if it weren't for media. There's tons of things like that. But like, for instance, your wedding dress. Listen, I just want y'all to know, if we're going to be very real, you wouldn't care about the size of the ring for engagement or how big and fancy that dress was if it wasn't presented to you as a whole thing. And we'll talk about the wedding industrial complex in a different stream, but I'm just saying many people thank you. They go eat supper, stinky eggs. 93 runt. Yes. Yeah, might not like the other girl's face was problematic to say the least. Yes. 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 Because it's gross. Like, there's very few, I think, women in this chat and women who would see this on the live or on the replay who don't have a cringy ass story of when you were like, not like other girls, was so much cooler, so much better. Like other girls, they like wearing pink. But me, I like black. I'm so different. Other girls like rom-coms and I like horror. Bitch, I like both. We're the same. I don't like I like all the things. I'm also gonna continue to watch Fast and Furious movies. You can't stop me. Like mine not like other girls' face would just be realizing I was an Airways lesbian. Where you're like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like because there are a lot of competing women, and that's why a huge reason why we have all those internalized misogyny women. Listen, that's why we have so many of them. The if my man woke me up in the middle of the night and wanted me to make a sandwich, listen, if I were to have a man who thought it was a good idea to wake me up in the middle of the night to make him a sandwich, all I'm going to say is there was a show and it was called Snapped. And that's that on that. Wait. Heather said, it's about control. Like that stupid question that's been going around about a man. Listen, yeah, and they do want to control everything. They want, like, when women stop, this is why, and I think I'll leave it here because I try not to leave these streams to be like too long. But I think that for me, when I stopped having men be the center of my life, I find that number one, when I go out, I'm present in that moment for the most part. Obviously, I disassociate without knowing it. I honestly, because I wasn't diagnosed when I was younger, I don't know that I spend most of my time disassociated. But the point is, I'm able to be more present in the moment. Like when I met M and Thorn, I was able to just sit and be in that moment. At no point was it like looking to see if there was like maybe a cute guy who I might flirt with later. Like none of that even existed. It was just like us having a nice time, right? So that's number one. Number two, I create this really nice life for myself where I find out all of the things that I enjoy and I know how important these things are to me. I know that like me being able to like live stream on YouTube, create content, I know that being able to play video games, whether I stream them or not, is like paramount to my joy. I know that getting to watch my comfort shows over and over and over again, especially if I've had a long day, es muy importante. I know that being able to like take my hot shower while listening to it depends. It depends on the song. It depends on how I'm feeling. Like Suavemente is a good one. Listen, I'll be suavemente in that shower. Besame. I'll be losing my whole spirit. But like I I found out more and more about myself, and most importantly, by decentering men, I was able to really start healing a lot of wounds left from men. Because I was focusing more and more on myself, I was able to do things like go to restaurants and even I know I keep saying video games, but play video games that I wouldn't play because they had negative memories attached to them. And I started being like, no, those negative memories are because that relationship was terrible. And I want to replace those with good memories. I think that more that you start decentering men, for me, it has brought me a lot of peace and a lot of joy. No, that's not weird. Dimester. That's actually not weird at all. I think that this is you have yourself a Noah. Now I'm just gonna start calling them Noahs. Listen, again, he'll never see this, so it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. He'll never see this, so I can just sit down here on my little planet and be like, "Mm." But yeah, I think when you have people who understand that, when we decenter men from our lives, when we start figuring out who we are as women, non-binary femmes, and if you are a man, dissenter men from your life, you'll be surprised by how much joy you will find. Find center in yourself. You will start to find how much joy and wonder that you have and how wonderful you are as a person and how many people missed you while men were the center. That's the thing that I ended up finding is how many people missed me and I didn't realize that I had been gone, you know? Yes. If I want to get ice cream and sit in the park and enjoy the nice day, then damn it, I'm going to do it and no one is going to stop me. Exactly. There's something beautiful about being able to do the things that bring you joy and not have somebody poo poo your parade. So I leave you with this. I'm never going to tell you that you shouldn't date because that's ridiculous. I don't because it's a nightmare. But I do think that you should consider whether or not you are in a space to date, like in a headspace to date. I think that you should consider where you are and how you feel. And I think you should certainly consider how you've acted in your past relationships. Definitely talk to your girlfriends and have them be honest with you about how you behave in a relationship. Because if you find that you're disappearing into every relationship, you definitely, I'm not going to say like I'm not a therapist, but I think that it would probably be a very good idea, a good suggestion that you start decentering men today so that you can learn to get in touch with yourself and know who you are so that your friends don't have to miss you again. And if you decide to get into a relationship, you can be a great partner for someone else. And then that person has to be a good partner for you because you will accept nothing less. All right, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all have been amazing. I am so happy that y'all came, y'all chilled. I don't really know what to say. Every time y'all show up to these, it like brings me so much joy. I kind of want to like cry a little bit, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm just gonna leave y'all with love and light. And I hope you have a rest of your night. Have a good day tomorrow. Texas, I'm sorry, we're back in the triple digits. We're back on the triple digits starting tomorrow. But guess what, y'all? I got my AC van back. And on that note, peace out. See you next time.